Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Cop Watch Chronicle podcast and live stream. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Kit. And we appreciate all of your comments. Let us know where you're watching from and what the weather has been like. What are the gas prices like in your neck of the woods? I mentioned on an earlier live stream about some matters that were important to me. We had a bit of audio technical difficulties earlier, and I'm hoping we fix those up. Let me know if we're 5 by 5 and audio is perfectly fine where you're listening from. Sounds good to me. So let's go ahead and continue with the show. One thing that is very near and dear to my heart is child illness. And one of the cases that I brought up on my earlier live stream was the case of the Bowles family, Tamsen and Reggie Bowles' fight. Um, they were on a previous episode of Cop Watch Chronicle where we were talking about the injustice that came down on them from the Tulsa Police Department. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. There's a very lovely child that was harmed along the way, and we're trying to show you guys the path forward for justice for this family. And that path has a path towards healing for this young child who has lost his voice ever since he was injured in the state's care, allegedly. So, welcome back to the front lines of truth and accountability. I ask that you pull up your chair and lock your eyes or ears on the screen, turn up the volume, because tonight we're tearing the veil off a system that operates on administrative overreach, excessive force, and bureaucratic indifference. The system has grown arrogant, overreaching, and far too comfortable weaponizing its authority against the American family. I talk a lot on this channel about rights. We talk about the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, and auditing bad actors who think a badge gives them special privileges, or a bureaucratic title gives them permission to trample the United States Constitution. But tonight, we are stepping into the ultimate battleground. We are standing up for the most sacred, fundamental right under God, the supreme sovereignty of a mother and father to protect and heal their own child. Let's take a look at the cold, hard, documented facts, okay? On January 10th, 2020, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a storm rolled into the lives of Tamsen and Reggie Bowles. What began as an alleged welfare check quickly devolved into a calculated 7-hour standoff engineered by local police and child protective authorities outside of their home. They didn't arrive with the spirit of support, they arrived with power. Authorities used a falsified sworn affidavit signed by a CPS worker who was not even physically present at the scene, swearing to hearsay to secure an emergency court order and a writ of assistance. When Tulsa County Sheriff's deputies moved in, they failed to produce paperwork. They battered Tamsen and dragged her away in handcuffs in front of her young children, while another deputy blocked her husband Reggie from assisting his wife. For 2.5 agonizing years, the state kept Tamsen trapped on a restrictive bond, hanging 4 misdemeanor charges over her head. They tried to exhaust her. They tried to make her break. But when the state finally had to face a judge at a pretrial conference, their entire case completely collapsed. Every single charge against Tamsen was dropped. Total, absolute vindication. The court records proved what we knew from day one. The state had overreached, falsified claims, and violated a family's civil rights. They took a child and he was injured in their care. While that victory was absolute, the tragic cost left in the wake of the state custody was catastrophic. Before this encounter, Tamsen and Reggie's little boy was hitting his milestones, communicating and interacting with his parents. But while held inside state custody and subjected to forced medical evaluations by state selected physicians, he suffered a profound, severe neurodevelopmental injury. When he was returned to his parents, he was completely silenced. A once vibrant child returned trapped behind a wall of severe brain regression and nonverbal silence. He could no longer speak. He could no longer communicate his needs. He could no longer express his pain or say mommy or daddy. When Tamsin and Reggie turned to mainstream medical institutions for answers, they were handed a cold clinical sentence. Your son has permanent brain damage. Do not expect him to improve. A true parent, though, a true parent does not accept a permanent sentence for their life's potential from a system that failed them in the first place. Tamsin and Reggie refused to give up. Tamsin spent months conducting late night research into advanced pediatric biochemistry, leading her to the work of Dr. Robert Navarro at UC San Diego and the cell danger response theory. The science explains that when a developing child experiences severe, acute environmental or systemic trauma, their cells can become trapped in a continuous state of cellular defense. In this danger response, normal metabolic and mitochondrial functions stall, shutting down neural pathways responsible for speech and communication. The research identifies a potential molecular key, a century old medicine called Suramin. As a purigenic antagonist, Suramin works by signaling the cells, and that tells them the immediate threat has passed, encouraging the cellular danger alarm to turn off and allow for neurodevelopmental pathways to reset. Clinical trials showed remarkable instances of nonverbal children regaining speech and engagement after treatment. Yet, in the United States, due to strict regulatory blockades and FDA non approval for this specific off label use, this treatment remains unavailable for this child on American soil. The same system that contributed to his trauma makes it legally impossible to access this potential pathway to recovery at home. Faced with domestic regulatory dead ends, Tamsin and Reggie made an executive parental decision. They are taking their son abroad to an established, vetted European medical clinic in Poland. This clinic is capable of legally administering this low dose Suramin treatment under compassionate use guidelines. So the path ahead, this journey, it's structured around three distinct phases, okay? The international treatment phase, executed in an ultra lean multimodal travel plan to Poland, covering expedited passport sourcing, transatlantic flights, rail transit, and secure clinic administration under strict medical supervision. Afterwards, they're going to remain near the clinic post infusion to monitor the organ function, metabolic stability, and blood chemistry, followed by a safe return home to Oklahoma. Afterwards, upon returning to Tulsa, capitalizing on the open neurological window by pairing cellular recovery with intensive speech, physical, and occupational therapies. Their goal is clear. They're going to reset the cellular alarm, restore speech emergence, and enable the child to regain fundamental milestones. I have Reggie and Tamsin here backstage, and we're going to talk to them about what it has been like experiencing these medical roadblocks and everything, the feelings that this has caused them to have. This family has endured systemic overreach, legal battles, and medical roadblocks. Now they are taking direct action for their child's health. As a community, we are going to help raise the funds for this travel and treatment and get this kid to where he can say mommy and daddy again. The path to justice for the Bowles family has two pillars: legal and public accountability. We're going to expose the agency's misconduct and falsified affidavits and their civil rights violations, ensuring that everybody here is held accountable publicly and legally. Second, medical freedom and sovereignty, demonstrating that parents, not state agencies or unelected bureaucrats, hold the ultimate authority over their children's care and well being. To execute this travel and treatment plan, Tamsen and Reggie require community support to cover fundamental out of pocket expenses, expedited passports, travel, and lodging. If you believe in parental rights, constitutional accountability, and supporting a family fighting for their child's future, I ask you to stand with them. Below this video, you will find the official Give, Send, Go. I'm putting it in the comments now too, so you guys can check it out. Support the Bowles family medical freedom journey on that Give, Send, Go link, and you can contribute directly to their travel and treatment efforts. Let's welcome Tamsen and Reggie Bowles to the show, everybody. Gonna go ahead and bear with me. I'm gonna pull them up on the screen. Not seeing them backstage. Hold on now. Tamsen, if you're listening, I emailed you the link for StreamYard. If you'll click that link, it'll take you backstage and I can bring you up on the show. Feel free to call me if you need to so we can get this all coordinated. Tell us in the comments, guys, what do you think about the state stepping in and harming your child and then being the ones to stop you from getting the treatment that the child needs to make him verbal again? I have some questions ready here for this family, so let's see if they can click the link in the email I sent to you, Tamsen, in your Gmail. Also, I guess while we're waiting for them to come backstage, I can go ahead and tell you about an urgent update on the Chris Griffiths case. I have posted on my Facebook. You guys can see that I've been in communication with him, and we are trying to coordinate the release of his vehicle, some of his property. Uh, he has asked for some deodorant, which I personally could not afford after I sent him some Facebook photos of his family, of his children that he can enjoy. So I sort of ran out of credits for buying the deodorant hygiene package. But anyways, yeah. So let's read this update I put on Facebook, and I guess I'm gonna send this invite link over to Tamsen's phone real quick, just in case they didn't get the email. What are the gas prices like where you guys are watching from? Tell us where you're watching from and what you paid for gas today. Chris Griffiths is currently being held at the Brevard County Jail in Florida. He's actively fighting for his case pro se, with the key court date coming up on July 30th. So he's got 11 days or less before he sees the judge again. I think his bail is $1,800, if I remember correctly from his letter. We're definitely trying to come up with that money and some of these other funds right here for Chris. While he prepares his legal motions inside, he urgently needs help from the outside community to protect his vehicle and personal belongings from being lost. He's at risk of losing everything he's worked on, his whole life's work, and his vehicle that he uses to go visit his children and that he's using to get custody of his children back. Um, his current situation and urgent needs. His vehicle impound emergency, priority one. His car is stuck at the Brevard towing. The impound bill is $1,020 and growing at over $20 a day. Has to be cash only, I guess. That's amazing. Sound like laundering? Um, Anyone in and near Brevard County or St. Augustine who can drive a 5-speed manual transmission to help move the car once it's released, or who has a driveway yard space that they can temporarily store the car on for low cost, Chris will pay it when he gets out. His keys and his belongings are being held by the Moncrief bail bonds. They have his watch, wallet, and keys. Actually, I heard that his keys were at the impound yard. A notarized limited power of attorney is being processed, so a designated representative can retrieve those items. That's all going to have to happen before his car can be released. So the impound fees are going up daily. Tomorrow, I'm going to pay his storage unit. It's $11 a month. Anybody that wants to help with that, go ahead and send to the Cash App. Amazing Audits is my cash tag. I can afford a month or two here, but I'm basically on disability and fighting my own custody case. I have upcoming travel that is going to cost me more than I have. So I can't really afford to keep helping with more months on his storage. Hopefully one will do. Oh, that reminds me. If you send any super chats to this stream, we will send the message to Chris as long as it's appropriate and not dehumanizing. So it's like send a message to an inmate chat. Every super chat will get a message to Chris. He asks that you don't deposit money directly on his standard jail inmate account. And that you use the jail charges him rent, so they take 50% of all the deposits. If you give via Smart Inmate Communications to communicate with him, or icaregifts.com, he gets 100% of the support that you give. Please use these Chris approved options. If you guys will bear with me, I'm going to have to give Tamsen a call and find out if they're going to come backstage pretty soon. Let me pull up Suno and see if we can listen to some music real quick. All right, here's some music I'll let you listen to while I'm making a phone call. I'll be right back. And we'll talk to Tamsen and Reggie Bowles.
They fired back with a felony book, false stalking charge, legal masquerade, all to indemnify the mess they made. 2018, November's bitter frost. Lizzie Crowder weaponized what mattered most. File false rape, turn love to a courtroom game. 2 years grinding through manufactured shame. 2020, she
Okay, so yeah. They're logging in right now, guys. Hold on. Hello, Tamsen. No, everything's fine. If you got the link though and you want to tap in and come backstage, I can yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Bye-bye. All right, great.
She played out, escaped the cell, paid a fine while my
All right. Well, they are going to be coming up on stage here in just a second. Um, sorry, I thought we had everything more streamlined and ready to go for you guys, but that's all right. Let's leave some comments. Tell us about this situation. What do you guys think about having charges over your head for 2 years and then having everything dismissed in the end? That just almost seems unbelievable, doesn't it? They do need to update some of the information over here on the Give Send Go. I think it still mentions some of the previous charges or like legal defense, but I don't think that's an issue anymore. They're just kind of trying to get justice and get their child healed up. How's the volume? I'm going to check that again real quick. Sounds pretty crisp. I like that. Are you guys happy with the volume? Tell me in the comments. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Oh, when it rains, it pours, I swear. Um, had to log back into my Wi-Fi. Hope we didn't lose you guys too long. I was talking about Chris Griffiths' case again and how you could reach him using smart inmate communications. His name's Christopher Ryan Griffiths, and his number is 4986-687. That's his inmate number. You'll select the Brevard County Jail, and the messages cost approximately 50 cents. Unless you're sending photos, you can use icaregifts.com and the same inmate information to send him care packages or food. Theoretically, I think if he got enough money on his inmate account, that actually could be used to bail him out, I think. So if we just overloaded his inmate account, that'd work to get him out, I think. So what we need you guys to do is send him some messages. You can at least snail mail him. It doesn't cost very much at all. You can send him a text message for about the same cost as a letter in the mail. Share this Facebook post, share this YouTube video, and make sure that you let all of your other activist friends know that Chris needs our help. If you can drive a manual transmission or have a storage space near Melbourne or St. Augustine, drop a comment or send a DM, please. Keep Chris in your thoughts and prayers and send him a message. Okay, guys? And that's what we can really do to help him out the most right now. There's also Matthew Reardon. We were talking about him earlier. That's We the People News, WTPnews.org on Facebook and online. Check him out. Matthew really needs some help. He's kind of in a tough situation down in coastal Texas. Here's one of his pictures where he has stuff's messed up and stuff sign, reminiscent of one of our other friends. We got the F Bad Cops sign, reminiscent of Eric Brandt right here. Very Eric Brandt and Otto the Watchdog style content there. Should check him out and check out his website, WTPnews.org. Let me see. I know that there's a Cash App for Matthew. Oh, yeah. Check out his new memorandum, opinion, and order and recommendation here. He's filed an emergency federal document, and he wants to get some people like James Freeman, Lackluster, Long Island Audit, somebody bigger to take a look at what he's doing here, standing up by himself, pro se, to the injustices that have been happening to him. There's the case number. You can look it up online if you want. This dude does a lot of high achieving stuff. You guys should check him out. I know that. Oh, there's his profile. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's the WTPnews.org. Here's the Cash App. You can check that out. It'll be on the screen, so you could scan the QR code if you want. He also has a GoFundMe for his crisis. You guys can check it out on GoFundMe. Veteran in Crisis needs your help. He's been doing a lot of civil rights activism all across the southern United States. And we're hoping he gets his way up around Colorado. But I'm really hoping that Matthew can just get stabilized first. He's had some issues. It's not easy to communicate with him all the time. It's somewhat inconsistent. And I think those are the best reasons why we should just give to this GoFundMe. We need to come up with this $5,500. That way the man can be stabilized. Frankly, I think he needs veteran community help because it's just a lot, right? We need to get him some housing, some wheels, and maybe some treatment. So check him out, guys, on Facebook. I think he's on YouTube, We the People News on YouTube. Matter of fact, why don't we go over there and check it out while we're waiting? Check out some of his newest activism. Yeah, we're still waiting for Tamsen to click in backstage. So while we're waiting for that, we'll check out some of Matthew's latest activism. I don't know which ones are good. I haven't been over here. He does a lot of content. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna have to click this one that says it's Wednesday and you know what day of the week that is. I'm sure he's gonna have some amazing signs. Let's check them out.
The story
Double
unfolds,
check so you guys can
truth
see
in
what
the
I'm seeing.
headlines, bold as gold, lights flash, the world's on cue. This is your
Who better not give
news,
me no copyrights
we bring it to
on for real.
we the people, the beat goes on.
Let's see what he's got going on. I remember last time I talked to him, I asked him to sing Happy Fuck the Cops Day. He had never heard about it, I guess. Looks like he's getting set up and in position. Oh, God bless Josephine Pisculi. She's such a good supporter.
All right, let me show you all this.
She's one of the crew. She's a keyboard warrior for us. Look at her. She's concerned for Matthew.
I don't know. I've been to the hospital 3 times in a month. They wanna keep doing the same thing. An X-ray's not going to show it. It's going to need an MRI. Been told that many times. They don't want to do an MRI. They want to refer it out to outpatient, and tell me to go see outpatient and go get an MRI. But
Oh, he hurt his arm. Here's his signs. Now, he usually has 2 signs, but his arm's hurt, so I'm not sure. And I wonder what kind of platform he's using to broadcast. Here we go.
fuck bad cops and bad judges too.
See, so he's still got 2 signs. Gotta love him.
God bless our homeless veterans. Fuck flock cameras.
He's got a few signs going on here.
God bless freedom of speech.
Great
Here,
smile.
how about we put on some music? Let's see.
I like those shades and hat, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, how does he do that? I wonder how he's playing music and streaming. Nice, man. That's dope. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, get it. I'm loving it. Blocka, 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 blocka. Man, doubling down. Yeah, he getting there, boy. How y'all like that action? What y'all know about that, huh? What y'all know about that flying a sign on the side of the road? He ain't trying to cause no trouble. Don't nobody say that neither. Don't no cops pull up and harass this veteran. He out there exercising his rights. I'm gonna turn the music up. No, I'm not. Flocka, 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 flocka. Flocka, 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 flocka. And it's actually pretty dope, though. He make a good music video. We'll have to clip that up. For real. Oh, that's dope. Now I like that, man. He got the phone magnetized to the pole, watching him from separate angles and stuff, man. I like that. He's got his tripod set up so it keeps him safe. He's got multiple angles. That's great. Man, the one thing you need to do though is when you start these videos, you got to tell people where you're at. You know, if you're live, you got to tell people where you're at. I guess it says Prism Live down here too. I just seen that. So probably using Prism, I'm guessing. It always helps to like tell us the time, date, where you're at, even for evidentiary purposes or witness statements. The more details you give, the better, because if someone can come into court and they remember that it was cloudy and what temperature it was, whatever you told us in the video, you know, they could go up on the stand and testify to that. Anyways, or they could fill out an affidavit. That's pretty dope, though. I'm loving it. Happy, happy, happy. Film the cops day. Flocka, 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 flocka. Film a copper, copper, copper. All right, let's see what else he's got over here. I told you he's got some fly First Amendment activities going on. I'll just mute that music real quick so we can find something. I think he does some cop watches too. Let me see if I can find one. Here's one. Let's check that out.
The story unfolds. Truth in the headlines.
Yeah, I wonder how he plays an intro and stuff like that and music when he's live. Oh yeah, that's dope. I like how he's got the time and date right there and the location. I'm guessing this was not live. So he ain't asking for nothing. He just saying, God bless the homeless veterans.
God bless our homeless veterans. Please pray for our homeless. Said God bless our homeless veterans. Please pray for our homeless veterans.
I'm sorry, I still couldn't hear you.
Said God bless our homeless veterans. Please pray for our homeless veterans. God bless our homeless veterans.
All right. So, oh wait. Okay. I see Reggie and Tamsen backstage now. So let's realign the show back to what we were talking about. The Oklahoma child welfare thugs, Tamsen and Reggie Bowles, fight for their justice and their child's health. Oh, somebody got back to me about Chris, so that's good. We are organizing help for him while we listen to Tamsen and Reggie. Let me go ahead and bring them up on stage. Actually, Tamsen, Reggie, can you guys say something? Let me hear your mic volumes.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah, okay.
1 second. I'll let you guys get all squared away and
Okay.
we'll talk about it in about 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
And we won't need the camera unless you want to have it on. Otherwise, we'll just do like a chat. Okay.
Shouldn't we ask Dad?
Hey, little one.
Hello.
Oh.
How are you?
Good.
Thanks for chatting with us and joining the show. We're
You're
going to
welcome.
share
Yeah.
and bring it.
So you're welcome. So you're welcome. He said thanks for joining us.
Oh. You're welcome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're going to share some awareness about your family's situation.
Okay. Hold on. He's
All right.
taking care of something. I apologize. There was a lot going
You
on.
know, it's
Even
really
after
not
we
a
got off
rush.
the phone. I
That's
am so sorry.
no need to apologize. I know we were kind of throwing us all together on the fly.
Yeah, we were running behind, and I told you why. Yeah, and then when I got off the phone with you, something more happened, so I had to take care of that.
You have to change his shirt.
When it rains, it pours. Can you
Hold
scoot
on,
into the frame a
hold on.
little bit
Nigel
more?
needs me real quick. I will be right back.
Okay. All right. They'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that.
God bless our homeless veterans. Hey, good man. God bless our homeless veterans. God bless our homeless veterans.
All right. Let's see where this must get some attention
I
here. Let's check it out.
God put it in my heart. I'm not soliciting. I'm just passing along a peaceful message. God bless them.
Of course, no soliciting.
To double check.
Yeah, I haven't asked anybody for anything.
Okay. I mean,
In fact, that's one of the things I do not like asking for help or for a handout. I like to spread a peaceful message, and
Okay.
if somebody chooses in their heart to just to
Oh, you should have left that
give
part
a-
out, probably.
contribution.
Right. We just can't have exchange of money on the floor. Okay.
I understand. I mean, God put it in my heart to stand here and deliver my message.
You can't exchange money on the property? That's baloney. That's a violation of your pursuit of freedom, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Your pursuit of happiness. You're at the public government facility and they accept money here, right? For something. They're not just their doors open to the public for no reason. Is it a library? They collect library fees, right? Like they collect money for printing. They collect money here. People meet at the library and they sell things to each other. It's not illegal and they can have it. She's just being a pest. my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Okay. And also, it looks like maybe we're ready to interview Tamsen and Reggie. Let me get back over to them. We were just watching Matthew for entertainment value while we get this interview going. Hey, Tamsen and Reggie,
Hi.
how's it going?
Could be better, but
Well, we don't have to do this now.
no,
We can
no,
always
we're
talk
fine.
later.
no, this needs to be done after, especially after tonight. That's all I'll say.
Well, Tamsen,
Hey.
taking you back to 2020, what originally brought Tulsa authorities to your door? How did a simple interaction escalate into a standoff outside your house?
Okay. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this actually began because I'll keep it as brief as I can. It actually began
Okay.
because they had.
Timothy.
Trying to get a chair.
What? No.
No, go.
No, we'll call you if we need it. When we need it, yeah. Okay, so.
2020.
Yeah, it was actually November of 2019 actually, because a CPS worker. Now our children had been stolen once before, back in 2016. They damaged Nigel's brain, so we had already been through this, and so
In
when they
2016.
came, huh?
In 2016.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's when they were stolen the first time. Timogen was just a newborn, and Nigel was a toddler, perfectly healthy, and yeah, so that was the first time. And then when they came again, you see, they began a new case in November of 2019 because a neighbor had called on us and our boys were 3 and 5 at the time. Nigel was 5, Timogen was 3. Nigel had serious brain damage because of what they did to him the first time. But anyway, we were living in a complex where a neighbor who was
Our dopehead neighbor gave them the excuse to come. After
Yeah.
that, they just violated every right in the book to accomplish their purpose.
but a worker came by herself in November 2019 wanting to talk to us, and we told her no. That's the beginning. And she came by herself, and she went away. We heard nothing. Now she went, and because the neighbor had said that the boys looked skinny, what she did was go to check the boys' medical records without our consent, behind our backs, of course. But we heard nothing for a couple of months, but she was checking that.
We have been told back in 2016 by our lawyers, if CPS ever tries to bother us again, give them a call. Well, we gave both our lawyers from the earlier case a call. The case had been dropped, and when we got our children back, and neither one of them would get back to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so no one
Amazing.
could really help us at this point, even though CPS was out of
At this time, I wasn't even sure they were going to come back after we turned them away.
Yeah, you just never know. So yeah, yeah. So every day is like a.
But they came back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you see, the worker had, like I said, she went to go check the boys' medical records, and the boys had not been to a wellness check in a long time because they got nothing for it. It's just an assembly line for vaccines. I hope I can say that on here. But anyway,
I'm off shopping.
yeah, they come out. Yeah, January 10th, 2020. That same worker. Yeah, he's out.
Tamsen gives me a call that she's surrounded by CPS and police.
Yes, they're outside our door. This time, what they came out, it was the same worker and other workers, and I wouldn't work. Hey, I wouldn't work. How bad
That
is
sounds
it?
just terrifying.
Yes. Okay.
You have your
Well,
family
listen,
inside
here,
the
that I
house,
will take.
and
So yeah. So
Pretty effing bad.
oh my god. Okay. Okay, I'll tell the story.
Relax.
So I'll try to be brief anyway, but so they come. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. They come.
Audio's
and
pretty
they,
good, actually.
This time, what they're wanting now, they are not there directly to take the kids. Actually, what they're wanting is an unnecessary, unwanted medical check for both the boys because they hadn't been to a wellness check, and the neighbor said they looked skinny. So they come with nothing more than a DHS referral. That's it. It's the Tulsa Police Department. That same worker had called 911 that morning, in fact, because she knew we weren't going to open the door. So. Hey. So, I got scared, I'm sorry. So, Oh yeah, they have a referral for both the boys to go see the same child abuse pediatrician from 2016 that had lied about Nigel.
Isn't
To
that
get-
Sarah?
Yes.
Just keep an eye on him.
Huh? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's Dr. Sarah Passmore, child abuse pediatrician, fucking criminal. Sorry, excuse the language. But anyway, yeah, both the boys be checked out by her at the same place where they grabbed Nigel out of in 2016 after she lied about Nigel's weight. And anyway, but we're not having it, and I wasn't having it. Yeah, I wouldn't open the door for them. I was being threatened by the police for charges of child endangerment if I didn't open the door to talk to the workers. And if I, oh yeah, and they said I didn't have a right to an attorney. He said he didn't need a warrant, the main officer. Yeah.
So they're just taking away all your constitutional rights.
My constitutional rights, what?
They're taking away all your rights.
Yes, well, they're trying to, yeah, or at least trying to scare me into opening the door. I mean, by coercion. Yes, basically telling me I don't have any rights. Yeah. So, but I knew better. But I just got away from the door and took the boys into the bedroom to call Reggie to let him know what was going on. And
That's too bad.
and then
We'll be in here all fucking night.
so
You're doing
to
good.
make a long story short, it was where the next about 7 hours, they were stalking us off and on throughout the day. The police and CPS just standing outside our door, watching us. They'd leave at times, so at times there was nobody there. 6 hours into it, they got an emergency court order, same paperwork they got for the boys in 2016, that they used for the boys in 2016. But then, well, they went away, because Reggie was actually about to bring the boys to the door. And this is not on camera at all. And it was just the DHS district director and a worker with the
Can I get
emergency.
back in the picture, please?
Yes. Okay. With the emergency court order, the DHS district director looked Reggie in the eyes and said, "I'm not taking your boys to cops are." And yeah, I'm not taking your kids to cops are. And then he actually, just to try to cut down on the trauma, he went ahead and tried to go get the boys, but when he came back, they were gone. And the reason he opened the door at that point, by the way, was because the district director, when she said that, here she was basically, she just said, "I'm not taking your kids, I just have some paperwork." That's why he opened the door at that point. And then he had been consulting with a lawyer all day, throughout the day, and then at that point when he consulted one last time, he said, "If they come back with law enforcement, you might as well open the door at this point, because at this point it looks like they'll kick the door in." And so about an hour later, now this is 7 hours into it, 7 hours since their initial arrival at our door.
Now, did you mention that the police, when the paperwork came out?
I will get to that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because
before you
an
go
hour
on,
later,
Tamsen,
they come back. It's 7
Can you hear
hours
me?
into it now. They came back, and yeah, it's now the sheriff's department, because what he just said. Go ahead. Yeah.
See, the police had told them earlier, they're trying to get us, police to bust down the door to get the children. Police told us, "You're going to need paperwork before we do that. We need to have at least have a writ and a court order before we'll go in and get the children." Well, the police were there on and off all day with CPS, and when the paperwork finally came down, the police refused to act on it. Because they knew they was on shaky legal ground and probably had lost their qualified immunity for their actions earlier. So instead they told him, "CPS, we're not going to do it, but here's how you can get around that. Call the sheriff's department and have them do it for you."
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, so that's what they did. So the sheriff's department's now there with the district director and the same worker that had initially been involved, that was there in November 2019, and had called 911 that morning to get assistance to force us to open the door so they can get to that unwanted, unnecessary medical check. So those two are there now with the sheriff's department, 3 deputies. And so Reggie went ahead and followed the advice of the lawyer by opening the door. And I wasn't having it still, especially with what they had put me through earlier in the day by threatening me and everything, law enforcement. So, and I couldn't just hand the boys over anyway. And I knew that they would get them eventually, but I was just trying to shield them from the chaos of the situation, the chaos of the kidnapping in progress. So, and just delay. So, what I did was just run to the bedroom with them, and I tried barricading the door with a small children's bed, but that didn't work very long. And they
You
came
were
in
trying to
and followed
protect
me.
your little ones.
What?
You were trying to protect your little ones.
Exactly, yes.
If you guys want to back up just a little, we could get you both centered in the frame, all right?
Oh, okay.
I can hear you pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Do you like that?
Yeah. Okay.
You comfortable?
Okay, so.
Okay.
Do
I
the
had a
amendment.
question though.
He just continues to do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's
I
your-
had a question, Tamsen. You told me that on previous conversations, didn't you say that they targeted you even all the way back when you were pregnant, before the child was born?
Well, yeah, that was in 2016, yes, because we were at the Salvation Army, and they had proof of pregnancy. We were there with Nigel, he's a toddler, and
I believe that's why they didn't take Nigel then. They were waiting for her
to give birth,
to
yes,
give birth.
it's obvious.
Waiting there to catch her, man.
Yeah, because they came a day before we got housing to
Yeah.
investigate, because some people, residents there that are sick in the head, had reported us with lies and whatnot.
After they investigated, they said the case was closed, but
Yeah, and
obviously it wasn't.
They only investigated about a week and a half. They came to our new apartment, saw where Nigel sleeps and everything. Everything seemed fine. They said the case was closed. Then a couple months later, I give birth, and a couple days later, they come marching back with new allegations. Very next day, at the end of the day, both kids are in custody. Both boys are in custody, and that includes our newborn and our toddler.
So I just wanted to
healthy
tell the
toddler.
viewers. I just wanted to tell the viewers how this is like a game plan. They take a playbook, and before you even, like right after you've conceived, while you're pregnant, they are planning taking away your entire family.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly what it is. It has to be. Yeah, and they want the money, the benefits and everything. The
Yeah,
incentives.
that's why a lot of people aren't realize how much money they get when they take a child. If they can take a child and hold him for what advocate said this?
Pamela K. Olson.
Pamela K. Olson. If they can take
Okay.
a child and keep them for 6 months, they get close to $1 million per child, which the state now gets that money. They can spend it any way they want, and there's no accounting for it. And that happens in all 50 states.
Yeah, and
That's
in
a racket.
2016,
That's a racket. That's a lot of
Yes.
money.
Now you can understand why they can take your children without a warrant and keep them without a jury trial.
yeah,
Which-
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
If you study Declaration of Independence, it says 2 of the reasons we declared independence. Because many times they didn't allow a jury trial. Family court does not allow you a jury trial. And they act with a writ instead of a warrant. That's exactly what they did here. They acted with a court order instead of a warrant.
Yeah, in 2020 they had the writ of assistance, but that's only because we wouldn't open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016 it was just
But no
emergency
warrant. Never
yeah.
a warrant.
Yeah, and never warrant either time, ever. None of this is a warrant, and even if it was a warrant, it'd be invalid. It wouldn't be valid because
Nope.
we didn't commit any crime, nothing like that. Yeah, it's,
Right.
It's just a witch hunt and everything, and money, a money grab, and
Okay.
children grab. Yeah. So
Reggie.
yeah, it's about power and money and control.
Reggie.
So 2016, yeah, they kept the boys in custody, well, away from us with visits and stuff, supervised visits, for 6 months, yeah. And then they gave us about 3 months. They gave us about 3 months around the clock under DHS supervision. So it's called trial reunification, basically. That's what, yeah. And then so that's 9 months total awards of the state. And then March 2017, they closed the case in our favor with both boys in our custody, left us alone for a couple years, and came back with a vengeance.
Okay.
Reggie,
What?
as a father, how did you maintain your resolve while watching your family navigate all of this government misconduct?
It's not easy, and it's hard to even understand why they're going through this. Because back when all this was happening, I didn't realize how much money they got from doing this. And also, our case was so good because they messed up. They didn't take them to their go-to pediatrician. So if you take them to their go-to pediatrician, which we resisted, you give them a child, they give you a case. But for whatever reason, she wasn't in that night, so they had to take them to the ER. The ER gave them a clean bill of health. They were both well within their weight, and there was no dark circles. Now, there's sworn affidavit on the worker who was not even there that night. We have reason to believe she was not even there. We never
She
saw her.
wasn't.
She wasn't there. She swore on affidavit that they had dark circles around their eyes and they looked malnourished. At the ER, there's no report whatsoever of dark circles. We even have videos showing they don't have dark circles. And both of them were well within their weight for their age group. Those are the facts. And then
that sounds
they
like
tried
that
to move
needs
on
to
to
be-
other things. Because we caught them flat in perjury. But no, okay. Well, yeah, sure we perjured ourselves, but we don't think you treated your eldest child's autism correctly, which they themselves caused, by the way. And then they get on to us for not having his autism diagnosed. They had him for over a year with all the resources of the state. It took them over a year after our trial before the state, could have him diagnosed. But we're the bad guys.
Sounds like they're clearly violating your guys' due process.
Up and down, sideways, and all over the place.
Among other things, yes.
I wish we could investigate that affidavit further. It sounds like what you're saying is a lady who wasn't even there signed a court document to have your children
A sworn
removed,
document.
basically based off of hearsay
Yeah.
communication she got from someone else at the hospital where she wasn't at.
Yeah, and there were 7 people in front of the door. Any one of them could have signed off on this. It was 4 police officers and 3 CPS workers, and none of them, they get somebody else that wasn't even there to sign off on this. And it's flat out perjury, fraud.
Well, I wonder how far down the kickbacks go. Maybe this person who filled out this affidavit somehow gets funded by this.
Well, it's all paid for by the state because you have to allow all this so the state can get their funds. And it goes in front of it's hard for somebody to imagine not been through it. Basically, what you have is judges and DAs who will sign off on anything CPS hands them without shredded evidence. CPS can perjure themselves on sworn affidavits and in court with complete immunity. The court will change your sworn affidavit. The sworn testimony on your final judgment. And then they had stuff there in the final judgment, a conversation between the pediatrician doctor and the judge, which was never mentioned in the courtroom. All judges tell all juries, you're not to consider anything that you have not heard here in the courtroom under sworn testimony. And yet there in the final judgment is a conversation between the pediatrician and the judge, supposedly. And I'd like to know when, where, and this was held. We brought all these things up to our lawyer at that time. This violation, that violation, that violation. She said, put it all down in the paper we did, and then she did nothing with it. And then what's worse, we tried to appeal the case. Because we know our rights have been violated up and down and sideways. And the Supreme Court of Oklahoma says, we're not going to allow this. Because you didn't fill it out in time. We did. We put in time. And because this is not a termination trial, we're not going to let you appeal it.
They didn't turn it in time.
No, I said we didn't turn it in time.
Yeah, because the
Well,
court
it's
clerks
probably
were
their
involved.
failure.
At the JV court, the court clerks were involved.
But they know there's plenty of case law that per litigants are supposed to be given leeway. And it's during the COVID season anyway. So we should be getting leeway on the time. Because they had leeway on the time. There's a 90-day thing. What was that? That they have to fill out within 90 days, and they failed to do it because COVID. We couldn't do it in time because of COVID. So we're not going to worry about your rights because of COVID.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what got in our way of getting it in.
No, the 90-day thing.
Oh.
Back when we was having court,
Oh, yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
They had to drop the charges because they didn't have it in within 90 days. But we're going disregard that law that's on the books because we're in COVID. But we can't have to get it in for a special period of time during COVID, and we're giving no leeway.
All right, hold on, I'll be back.
All right. So go ahead, ask questions.
Sure. What does your daily life look like for your family right now in terms of round-the-clock
Right now,
care,
we have
routines?
constant problems with our eldest child who's autistic because of what the state did to him. And we've been trying to raise money or get him go so he can get the medical attention he needs from outside the United States because you cannot get it done here. Not get it done properly, not get it done right.
It's not right. It's not right how they hurt your child and then they...
how they hurt our child, but we are not allowed to give him the therapy he needs here in the States.
Yep, the same
we have to
system
go
that
outside
broke
the
them.
States to get it done. And it's going to cost money. And now we're trying to give the Gibson go so we can cure the damage done to our eldest child by the state. As much as I hate and like to get justice against the state for what they've done to our family, our major concern right now is our eldest child. And getting him
Yeah, I
better.
would certainly like to see him get better. And I've sort of come up with some numbers. It looks like if we can raise up to about $7,000, we can afford the treatment and the travel and get you guys back home for some aftercare. So I just wanted to show everyone who's listening that there is a path towards justice. There is a path towards the child regaining his functions and him saying mommy and daddy again. It's actually less than $10,000. It's not a super duper expensive path. And if we could raise up the money by sharing this video, sharing the Facebook post, and sharing the GoFundMe, maybe we can get this child back in his rightful place, being a member of society and loving on mommy and daddy.
And on a side
Tamsen.
note, what we are trying to do, one of the therapies, looking promising, trying to give it to him, we even brought up to his at that time pediatrician. She agreed with it. And then we go to a psychiatrist that supposedly he could do that for us. And all he can do, he knows nothing about this type of therapy. And he's an expert in autism here in Oklahoma. And he doesn't know about this cutting edge therapy. He doesn't know nothing about it. The doctor has to Google it.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So how's it feel to be the smartest one in your doctor's office?
Yeah,
Well,
in
the
fact, he brought
treatment.
in somebody higher up than him, and she was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to Google it to find out about
Yeah,
it.
that's two people.
But they're more willing to
Morons.
prescribe psychotropics.
They
Yep.
have a degree in Google searches.
Yeah. As our
Yeah,
youngest would
that's
say,
where they
you
got
have
their-
a degree in Google searches.
A Google degree.
First dad's idea.
Oh.
He's funny.
He's bright as a whip, our youngest one.
Now,
But even it was quite a problem readjusting because he'd been gone for 3 years.
2.5.
okay, now
Okay, two
the
and a half.
doctors don't know about the treatment, and it's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Tamsen, how did you guys find out about the Suramin treatment? How did you
Well,
even discover
we
that?
constantly do research, constantly. And that's one of the things
Okay.
he came up with. And some of the doctors that we think highly of, holistic doctors, also on their own pages talked about this cutting edge research and what they're doing with it.
Great. So after we get the infusions completed in this European nation, what is the plan for post-treatment monitoring before you begin, like the trip back home to Oklahoma? What are you looking for after the treatment? What are you monitoring for?
Once if he can talk or communicate even at least a little bit, there's also what's that clinic here with the therapy he needs to keep his arms down?
Oh, you're talking about biometric. Bio something. Biofeedback?
Yeah, biofeedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good possible. It depends what how much he's recovered. But if he can just begin to have a little speech and be able to just keep his hands in his lap, that would be a great start. I mean, we just give me an inch and I'll work with it.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
on a waiting list, and then when it was his turn, we couldn't go.
Yeah.
Because the cognition is so low with him.
He can't just keep his hands in his lap. He's unable to do that.
This is how bad they've harmed him.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
And what's bad is the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be to correct his course.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons they kept him away longer this time. I mean, the second time, because they know that it's going to be hard. If they return him to us, it's going to be, or no matter where he goes in life, it's going to be hard. The
Yeah.
longer it sits there and accumulates.
Right.
The brain damage.
You
They
know,
don't care.
I
They
think
just
this
want
is
that money.
why they harmed your child, and I think this is why it's vital for parents to maintain their primary decision-making capabilities as far as like medical authority over their child's care, especially or when standard options have been exhausted. Like in your case, the parents should be able to make whatever decision, I think, and I really commend you guys for finding this cure and setting up the path towards getting your child back functional again. What is it? What does it felt like? Is there any way you could tell us? Is it repressed anger that you feel over everything that has happened? Um,
Well, if I
like,
said
what
how
does
I
it feel
really
like?
feel, I'd probably have people knocking on my door with badges. So I keep that
Well,
to myself.
okay. Well, we don't want to lean too heavily into Reggie's feelings. How about you, Tamsin? How does it
I'm
feel
actually the same
dealing with
way.
all of this injustice?
I'm actually the same way.
Okay.
I
All right.
consider my
Well, I guess.
Christian. I consider myself Christian, very forgiving, but there comes a point where you've just gone too far, and
Yes.
I don't know what to do for you. Give yourself to God because I got nothing for you.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I could have you guys up today. I was talking about your case earlier. There's a whole lot of cases that are in my realm, and this is one that involves a subject dear to my heart, childhood illness. And that's why I wanted to have you guys up and ask you
Yeah,
a couple of
Jimmy, did you want to
questions.
say something?
What?
It seemed like you wanted to say something even earlier.
No.
No? Okay.
All right.
That's
Bye-bye.
okay, no pressures. We'll definitely have you guys up again sometime. We'll have another show and we'll talk about
Did you?
how things are progressing. I know it's slow.
No, I don't have anything.
No, did you explain about the oxygen, like I said? Can you?
Oh, no, she wanted me to explain. See, he kind of goes up, or Nigel goes up and down because his autism, the way it's been explained to me, that it's a gut-brain problem. It's a combination of the two. Because when he has that gut problem that causes the brain problem, which I believe is done by the treatments he received while he's in state care, without going into detail. But time to time he has less oxygen than other times in his brain. That's why he seems to go up and down. He'll do well for a while, and then he'll do really bad. It goes up and down just like that, and I think that's because of the oxygen level in his brain. That's my own theory, and that's from my own studying. And you just got to deal with it every day, and some days are good, and some days are really bad.
Did you say like on fire? Or something
Yeah,
like
it's like his brain is on fire. He can't explain to you what he's feeling, but according to some experts on autism, the child actually feels like his brain is on fire when he has that lack of oxygen.
Yeah, and it causes.
that's horrible.
Yeah, behavior problems.
Yeah, bad. Yeah.
Yeah, very bad.
Yeah, that's what people need to understand.
Mm-hmm. They don't understand how bad it can get, and dealing with a child like this is a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
I mean, some nights you don't sleep.
Yeah, and then there's with his digestion at times.
Yeah, it has digestive problems too. I think that could be associated with it. And we've been trying to keep that under control. Supplementation. We were going to a lot of different doctors for a while, but their stuff just quit working.
Wow. Well, that's a lot to take in. We're going to have to make sure that we try to share this stream to everyone you guys know. Share the Facebook post and the GoFundMe all over. Fundraising takes a little while, but then you hit that little groove and those funds are sure to come pouring in. We'll get him treatment
He'll
soon.
be 12 this year. He's turning 12 this year, and we have to have him.
Hope springs eternal, but time is running out.
And he's been injured since he was what age?
They first took him away at a year and 8 months, and assaulted him. I call it medical battery. That's what it is. That's when they did this, and ever since then, he didn't regress right away. He began regressing.
About a 6-month period, he regressed.
Yeah, because it was late 2017, so he was like about almost 3 years old, and so that's been about 9 years. He's been nonverbal and like this. And then when they took him away again, they interfered with our healing process, kept him longer, and returned him. And then it was hard to do anything, especially when we were blood financially dry at that point.
When they took away the second time, the things we were doing with him, holistic doctor said we were doing exactly what we should have been doing. But CPS will take anything you're doing, try to twist it, and say you didn't do it right, or you didn't do this. It's just like even we showed after CPS had perjured himself to take the children. Then, but you didn't do what was right by how you should have treated Nigel. Yeah, like I said, it took them a year to diagnose it. But we're the bad guys.
No, you guys are not the bad guys. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. I'll let you get back to caring for your little ones, and we'll talk to you real soon. Hopefully, we'll be watching you go and get the treatment overseas.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You
You
bet.
too.
Bye, Reggie. Bye, Tamsen.
Bye.
Well, there you guys go. That's a very powerful story. And it's sad, you know, the system hurt their child and it won't let them get the treatment for their child. And, you know, it's very dear to my heart, childhood illnesses. It makes me wonder, you know, maybe conspiratorially a little, how many of these childhood illnesses actually do have a cure, but the system in place won't. It like makes there be childhood illness. It won't let them get the cures. You know, it's very sad. You know, when you think about how they came in and they harassed this family since before the children were born. You know, they filed charges so that they could do this harm to your family, and then after 2.5 years, all the charges are dropped. That just proves the state's case is like built on sand, right? This family deserves better justice. There's no justice if you have to fight, like it takes 2.5 years just to get the charges dropped. Your child stays injured for 9 years. The system supports him not getting the treatment he needs. I mean, it's just horrible. It takes all this time, and you have to go through the whole process from harm to healing, but the system just fighting you all along the way. It's so sad. And it makes me wonder about that cell danger response therapy too. It kind of makes sense in some ways, I guess. It's frustrating that red tape keeps Suramin out of the U.S. And now that it's like 100 years old, it's like, will it be another 100 years before they look at this treatment again and make it available or consider its medical value? Well, I'm praying this family gets their money and they get their trip to Poland. The child gets the treatment and they get to hear him say, Mommy and Daddy, I love you again. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in and hearing about Tamsen and Reggie's story, listening about Matthew Reardon and Christopher Griffiths. You know, this type of activism, it wouldn't be able to go on without the support of people like you. And if you're listening on the podcast, I appreciate you listening on Cop Watch Chronicle on Spotify. I appreciate you listening on Facebook and YouTube and X and Kick. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Remember to leave a thumbs up and a comment and tell us what you think about all the information that we were talking about. Good night, y'all. Boop, 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 boop.